If it's the will of God, then this will come out in one go because I'm in a very big rush. Okay, when you're a public individual, a public video person, whatever you might call me, intellectual, counter-intellectual, pseudo-intellectual, a public humorist, counter-humorist, pseudo-humorist, a public activist, counter-activist, pseudo-activist, rabbi, priest, god, devil, shithead. When you're doing this, yeah, that's how I know that I'm doing well with the Lord. My point here is that it's difficult to know how to respond to beautiful well wishes that I receive that mention praying to, especially when it's so clearly, saying we pray to the one God, Jesus Christ, right? So that gets very complicated to do this online because I'm expected to respond very carefully, very delicately to every single thing, despite the fact that, Jesus Christ is a rather divisive figure if you happen to be in my position here in the world as this public, whatever the hell thing I am. Coming from the Orthodox Jewish perspective originally. So, very complicated. So let me try to explain just very, very briefly. I beautifully appreciate the sentiment. I have no problem whatsoever with the sentiment. Now, everyone's expecting me to have to parse apart the words. The words, not only by what that individual meant, which I can't possibly know because all I know from them is half a sentence, or by what they mean to me, because they mean to me many things. I can see many ways that people could read them, or how they could possibly be read by somebody possibly reading, just like game theory down the Y degree, tzaras tzarasein, ad soif ha'olam kind of thing. So, let's say this. Let he who is sure, let he who is certain, he or she who is certain, that they are absolutely living with the truth of Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, that they mamish understand monotheism and are living it and they comprehend it, Yoimam V'layla. Unless you're there, don't worry so much what somebody means when they refer to Yoshka, Jesus of Chule. Don't worry so much. But the thing is that Jews have a long historical memory here, and a lot of the people who were praying to this Jesus guy killed a lot of Jews. So it's much more than just Jewish law or intellectual or underlying philosophy. There's a sort of team do or die element to it, which ends up infusing feelings that people will have about the word Jesus much more than they have about the word Buddha or Shiva, even though a lot of people could argue those are closer to the original, whatever, who gives a damn. What I'm saying is that, this is complicated stuff, and I ask you, I get so much response from people with a little, this was very bad, and therefore forget about everything. What do you want me to do? I'm trying to be legit here. I'm trying to not be an advertiser. I'm trying to not be someone who is, in a certain way, professionally going about. I'm trying to appeal to you, the people. So I need you to have my back. Just have my back. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's all that I'm saying. Assume the best. You should, for everybody, even anonymous commentators, you should assume the best. But my God, when someone is coming out here like this, you gotta give them a fucking break, unless you want the rest of human existence to live in the metasphere, to live in some theoretical avatar, arguing with some other avatar, forever and ever, policed, of course, by who knows whom, the combination of governments, YouTube, and money. Who the hell even knows who is in charge of policing the intercourse? Intercourse? That is the word. The social, yeah. Anyways, so Jesus wise, just so people understand, things got a little complicated translating wise when it comes to the matter of Jesus because of his own personal life and death, the part that's recorded in the New Testament, specifically the death part, not really, and because of how it was interpreted later on and all the rest, things got very complicated. Simply understood, it appears to me personally, and I can't have a debate on this right now. At some point, if this is the main focus, I'll be happy to discuss this. Ideally live, so if somebody wants to meet live, or at least with Zoom or something like that. So it's not just a monologue that's open for, this proves that you're completely puzzle. Kala puzzle, puzzle means, written out of the script. This letter this word means, yeah, so Jesus had a point in his day. He was saying very clearly that, listen, yes, I'm a carpenter. Yes, I don't have a yeshiva education, or at least not a very high advanced Jewish education. But I'm sorry to say, I happen to be right and everyone else happens to be wrong. About what? Read the Sermon on the Mount. It's chapter 5 in the New Testament, in the Christian Bible. He's pretty clear what? He was saying usual prophetic stuff, not very dissimilar from Isaiah or anybody else. And he was saying, what can I do? I'm the only guy saying it. Fine. So I'm the answer. I'm the one. No one goes to God but through me. V'chule, v'chule, etc., etc. Discussing this further is not my point. My point is simply that appreciating the thanks from Jesus is okay, but you have to understand also from the Christian angle that I'm in a difficult position over here. So, what can I do? And Jews are not known as the least critical of people. Okay? Jews are not known as the least critical of human beings. So I'm in a difficult position here. And Jews, among whom am I, it's not the world's greatest reputation to have. You know what I mean? It's got its place. But I'm chacham v'navain, and mi karev, ki mi karev Hashem elav k'chol. Who is as close? Ki mi goy gadol asher lo Elohim kroivim elav. Ki mi goy gadol asher lo Elohim kroivim elav. That's a better reputation to have. Okay? To get there, we have to give up these stupid ways we've been living for a while. Certain aspects of it, most of it's been great. You know what I mean. If you're Jewish, you know what I mean. If you're not Jewish, this isn't for you, you can ignore that. Anyways, that's it. I just had to get this out. I really got to go. I'm very late. Love you.